You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's. Welcome to the Southwest Maui Invitational, and the island of Maui as welcoming and as beautiful as always as we bring you in to Lahaina. The Lahaina Civic Center is the home of the Southwest Maui Invitational as always, and we've got 8 teams fighting for a championship here this Thanksgiving week. The first 2 games that we will have for you: Seton Hall against the NC State Wolfpack, USC Boise State. Bottom half of the bracket, Chaminade is in this year against Washington State, and it'll be Arizona State and Texas in the nightcap. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Lahaina. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. Jay, where are you?
Dan. Chill. We're in Maui for the Southwest Maui Invitational, and I'm doing the game from remote. I'm not going to be sitting next to you for Seton Hall versus NC State. I'm on a catamaran right now, the Sea Maui 3. It's beautiful. Just relax, enjoy yourself, hang loose, baby. It's great. And NC State's coached by Will Wade this year, and they do a great job of spacing the floor, and that space gives them plenty of room to operate. Unlike analysts that work with you, they have no space to operate. You just squeeze them out. So this may be the last time the viewers hear from me, but I can't wait to see Seton Hall because they're called the Pirates. Wait, Pirates.
All those acting classes paid off for both of us, don't you think? Welcome back. Although it was almost a play-by-play man's dream to have you doing it from the catamaran, just chiming in every now and again. You excited to see this game in this tournament this week?
Dan, it is going to be a fast-paced game between Seton Hall and NC State. Seton Hall loves to get out and force turnovers. They force 17 a game. They've got a +8 turnover margin. So NC State's going to have to take care of the ball and look for Darian Williams at every opportunity because he's one of the best players in the country.
Renewed energy around this Wolfpack program. Will Wade's team is 4-0. As we mentioned, they are ranked, moved up a couple of spots. The rankings just coming out today. They are up to number 23 in the nation. 3 relatively easy wins and then a 6-point win over VCU in their last game. There's a look at Williams. As Jay said, one of the best players in the nation. A transfer from Texas Tech. As for Seton Hall, practically an entirely new team for Shaheen Holloway. They finished last in the Big East last year. They're off to a 5-0 start this year, but per KenPom, they have played the weakest schedule in the nation so far. Obviously, that is going to change here this week in Maui.
And North Carolina State will switch defenses up on Seton Hall. They are active defensively as well. They like to force turnovers, so we are not going to see a slow-paced game. This is going to be up and down, and it should be a ton of fun.
The first of 12 games over the next 3 days here inside the Civic Center. And underway with NC State controlling the tip, and this is Quadir Copeland, a couple of years at Syracuse and then played for Will Wade last year at McNeese State, one of the many transfers. Williams the lob, and a beautifully executed play, the slam by Ben Allen Lubin.
They call that Spain action. It's just a ball screen, then a back screen on the Cutter's defender, and it was wide open to start this game.
Let's take a look now at the starting lineups brought to you by Southwest. The guy with the ball, Adam Bud Clark, is really the engine for this Seton Hall team. A transfer from Merrimack. A.J. Staten-McCray, who comes from Miami, misses the 3, and back come the Wolfpack.
There's Darian Williams, the toughest matchup in this game, one of the tougher matchups in the country, and that's what Seton Hall does. They go after the ball for steals. You have to be strong with it on every possession.
And as Jay mentioned earlier, that was a real focal point for Will Wade yesterday. He said they've had 2 low turnover games, 2 high turnover games. This has to be a low one as Mike Williams, a transfer from LSU, knocks down a 3 for the Pirates.
And that's what Seton Hall wants to do. They want their defense to really get their offense going.
Boy, Copeland with a full head of steam puts the brakes on and draws the foul.
Now here's the first play of the game for NC State. Just on the side, you're going to see a pick and roll. And then McNeil sets a back screen on Ben Allen Lubin's defender. And that gets them the wide open lob. And anytime that happens, you not only have to guard that ball screen and call things out and communicate, but there's got to be really good pressure on the ball to take away vision so that pass can't be delivered.
Will Wade, as we mentioned, in his first year in Raleigh, took McNeese State to the tournament each of the last 2 years. Prior to that, VCU, 5 years at LSU. And you and I have been talking over the last couple of days. He seems like an excellent fit for the program, the fan base, and kind of the attitude of things around NC State. They are going to make some noise in the ACC this year.
You know, Dan, there were a lot of really good hires last year, but I would say that the top two would be Will Wade at NC State and then Sean Miller at Texas, both in this tournament.
He is happy to kind of make it an us against everybody kind of vibe, and that kind of fits with NC State, playing just down the road from North Carolina and Duke, and it looks like the conference will be improved. Will Wade, one of 4 new coaches hired in the ACC this year, and again with the transfer portal, you can change the look of your team quickly. Williams has hit 1, Williams has hit 2.
Bud Clark was the one that made that possible. His penetrating draws 2 defenders. And anytime you can get 2 playing 1, you can spray it and get something really good. Clark is difficult to stay in front of.
No question, Seton Hall is the underdog coming into this game, but they are off to a nice start as Williams misses the corner 3. Holloman nearly stole it, but it's out of bounds, and it actually does belong to them. As
that went off Holloman, I thought.
I thought so too, but they might overturn this call.
They should.
And they will. It'll go back to Seton Hall. He did touch that as he dove to try to save it.
It went right off his foot.
So Seton Hall with the ball in an early 2-point lead, and that's an over and back as Williams was standing in the front court but bounced the pass into the back court to get it to Clark.
There are a lot of lines on this court. The mid-court line is the black line, but there are 2 red ones right near it that make it a little bit confusing, especially when you're under pressure.
Into Williams, a tough cover whether you put a big or a guard on him.
Well, he'll post a guard.
Yeah, post a guard, can get around to big, and what a huge pickup in the portal. Shaheen Holloway, what a great career he had at Seton Hall. He is in their Athletics Hall of Fame, played 4 years there. Took one team to the Sweet 16. He's still the all-time assist leader, and who will ever forget the run that he had as the head coach at St. Peter's a few years back, getting to the Elite Eight, including upset wins over Purdue and Kentucky.
I asked the coaches at an event, Ben Allen Lubin, good job getting to the front of the rim to pick up that easy offensive rebound below the waist. But I asked the coaches, what piece of memorabilia if you can only save one thing? And Shaheen said the McDonald's All-America MVP, which he got over Kobe Bryant.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. A.J. Staten McCray knocks one down, and Seton Hall, which hasn't been a great shooting team in the early going this year, has already knocked down 3 threes. At the other end, it won't go for Paul McNeil Jr., one of the few holdovers in this NC State program. Williams is feeling it. And we've got contact underneath, and it's going against the Pirates.
This is the kind of start that Seton Hall wanted to get off to, where their pressure is really dictating the pace and the tempo of this game. And coming down, just passing, 2 playing 1. Ben Allen Lubin just can't get out quick enough to close out to a shooter. And anytime you can shoot from the catch spot and you're not made to put it on the floor, your percentages are going to be higher.
And there's an interesting young man for Seton Hall, Najai Hines, an in-state kid, Plainfield, New Jersey, decided to stay close to home, was being recruited by all kinds of programs, Indiana, Kansas, and others, nicknamed Baby Shaq, and among the leaders in the nation in block shots in the early going.
Old school big guy, he's physical, and he's very, very talented. He's going to be really good.
Lubin, Copeland, drives into a couple. Good rotation defensively by the Pirates, and they force the pack into a tough shot.
Now that was a low percentage look fading away.
Here's a high percentage look from three, and Mike Williams already has knocked down 3 threes in this game.
Well, Seton Hall is playing with great energy. And again, Bud Clark just getting that little paint touch that created the shot.
And a block by Hines. The Pirates in transition. Clark for 3. And down with the rebound is Holloman for the Wolfpack. NC State wants to play fast, but they are not getting high percentage looks right now. The Pirates are doing a good job defensively in the half court and in transition.
And that was just a poor shot by McNeil. You don't pull up for a contested 3. Make Seton Hall work.
Clark the kick. Fisher, playing for his 4th school in as many years, gets his own miss and lays it back in.
Nobody laid a body on him after he put that shot up. Everybody just turned to look and see if where the ball was coming off. And Fisher was just quicker.
And a great start for the Pirates in the early going on an 8-0 run. And with an 8-point lead, Shaheen Holloway loves it. They are knocking down their threes with Mike Williams having 3 of them already in the early going. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Score all-star hospitality on every flight. J-Lab, personal technology and headphones straight from the lab. And Tommy Bahama. Get your holiday gifts at TommyBahama.com. Let's take a look at the experts at work, brought to you by Principal.
Seton Hall off to a great start. They're getting 2 to play 1 by getting the ball into the post. And the penetration by Adam Bud Clark opened things up for Mike Williams, the transfer from LSU. Again, getting into the paint, making 2 play 1, can't close out. Mike Williams has 3 threes in this game. He's 3 of 3. He's got 9 points. He averages 7 points a game. And he's coming off a minor, well, it's minor because it's not my injury, but he tweaked his knee against Fairfield in the first half. He did play some in the second, but it's still been bothering him. He's been struggling with it, but he is playing through it and playing at a high level to start this game against NC State.
And you would think the recipe for success for the Pirates against the Wolfpack in this game would start and be prevalent at the defensive end. And they have played very well defensively, but Shaheen Holloway loves to see the ball go through the basket for his guys as well, and 4 of 7 in the early going from 3-point range.
You know, the pressure from Seton Hall is speeding up NC State. As a result, the Wolfpack have taken some questionable shots that have not been high percentage. That's a difficult pass. NC State's going to keep the ball, but if Van Allen Lubin catches that, he's in a sea of blue. And it was right off of the inbound, so you didn't really make the Seton Hall defense move yet.
1 sub for Will Wade. Matt Abel, a 6'6" freshman from Baltimore, is into the game. Number 3 in white, that's him. And Wade told us yesterday, very mature, composed for a freshman. A block from behind by Seton McCray, and another one as Fisher might have gotten a piece of it.
Well, they got what they wanted, which was the post up by Williams right in front of the rim, but Najai Hines made a big difference there. Great cut.
And a great find. It's Fisher to Seton McCray, and it's Seton Hall with a 10-point lead.
And NC State may have to adjust the amount of time they've got 2 on the ball. So far, Seton Hall has done a really nice job of passing out essentially of those double teams.
The Wolfpack undefeated on the season at 4-0, including wins over UAB and VCU. The Pirates, as we mentioned, have not played anybody nearly the caliber of NC State so far, but they have come out firing on all cylinders. They're on a 10-0 run.
One thing NC State needs to think about is using more shot fakes and ball fakes against this pressure.
Tipped away by Copeland, and he's got it. And a great job by McNeil to just keep going to the basket, and Copeland found him.
You want to attack pressure at the point it's applied, but NC State needs to put a little bit more pressure on Seton Hall, especially on Bud Clark. Bud Clark is incredibly quick and fast with the ball. Transfer from Merrimack, where he was NEC Rookie of the Year, all league, averaged 20 a game. Good fake.
Seton McCray, too strong on the 3. Hines keeps it alive, but he's out of bounds.
See, here's Seton McCray right here. And as the ball goes into the post and draws the double team, everybody turns their head. Matt Abel drops down and he just shoots right to the rim. He was able to cut across Abel's face to get right in front of the rim. That's just a great and smart cut by A.J. Seton McCray.
Multiple subs for both coaches. This is Alan Breed, another player who came from McNeese State, played under Will Wade last year, number 7 in white. They run a lot through Copeland. Lubin giving up some size on the block, playing against Hines. Corner 3 will go from Abel, and again, he's a true freshman, but he's going to be a big factor for the Wolfpack this year.
He can shoot off the catch or the dribble, good transition scorer, and a talented, mature freshman that can really process a lot in his first year.
Number 13 in blue is Trey Parker, backup point guard. He played at NC State last year, now playing against him. Fisher for 3. And it's over the top of the backboard and back to the Wolfpack. Let's go back to that last shot by Abel. Looks like his foot was definitely on the line. So if somebody saw that, they will look at that at the next time out and in all likelihood take a point off the board for the Wolfpack.
It looked like Jeffrey Anderson was ruling it a 2. I mean, they never got their arms up on it.
Copeland trying to shake Tawan Simpkins in off the bench for Seton Hall. He is actually their leading scorer. Simpkins is better than 13 a game. Boy, the Pirates really moving their feet defensively. Breed can't get by Simpkins.
A lot of dribbling, need to get reversals.
Tough shot. And nothing but blue jerseys on the glass. Seton Hall has come out playing very well and very hard. And that is turned over as Jacob Darr, a senior who played at Rice last year, commits a turnover. Shaheen Holloway won't be happy about that. But overall, he's got to be feeling pretty good. They have changed the 3 to a 2. It is 16-10. Just getting going here in Maui. Welcome back to the Southwest Maui Invitational. And Jay Bill is not just a basketball analyst. You give him an assignment and he can figure it out, as he helped guide the Southwest Jet and showed balancing skills we didn't know you possessed, my friend.
Well, times are tough, Dan. I'm having to do a little extra work to make ends meet. And I don't know. I thought I brought the plane in.
They had a backup just in case.
Very disconcerting.
The Lahaina Civic Center, you see some of the great players and coaches and programs who have competed in this tournament over the years. Auburn won it last year. We're just getting going. Day 1, game 1, 8 minutes in. And Seton Hall with a 6-point lead on NC State. If people are just tuning in, what have the Pirates done well so far?
They've really put good pressure on NC State. They've sped them up. And I think after the initial punch in the face that NC State took, you know, they've started to slow down a little bit. I think NC State's got to do a better job looking for Darian Williams when he's in the game so he can establish himself. He's the toughest cover in this ball game.
And he's got a chance to be an All-American when it's all said and done this season. He is such a tough matchup. Been on the bench for a few minutes right now. Copeland getting the lion's share of the ball handling responsibilities early. There's Sanye into the game, number 13, a freshman from Gambia who played professionally in Spain's top league the last 4 years. Up over the top and unable to finish it is Simpkins. And now Simpkins goes down, ran into his own teammate. And the Wolfpack with a couple of opportunities can't finish it off the glass. Wide open, Parker. A little bit short, long rebound to Breed.
That's not the shot. He had a drive right there, just a right-hand drive that could have gotten him all the way to the rim.
Boy, Copeland is shifty, great feed inside. Sanye the kick, able to fake, able to 3.
And the fake was the key. Close out, Shot fake, one dribble pull-up. We said that Matt Abel could shoot it off the catch or the dribble, just proving the latter. But that was really smart on his part.
If you're in ACC country, a fan of any school in that league, Matt Abel is a name to know when your team plays NC State.
Certainly a name to know on the scouting report because he can score. He's going to be he's a good player now. He's going to be really good.
7-0 run Wolfpack. Shot clock's at 1. Parker sees it. Back rim and the rebound down to Abel. Copeland behind the back. Bounce pass on the wing. Jerry Deng misses the 3. Deng kind of a stretch 4 off the bench. Seton Hall looking to push every now and again when they get the opportunity.
And they should. You're going to have to get easy baskets. You don't have to grind it out against NC State's defense. And NC State basically switches everything. So slips could be available.
The Pirates started 4 for 6 from 3, 0 for their last 5 though. And Hines fouled underneath. Well, so much going on during Feast Week. Let's take a look now at the Terry's Chocolate ESPN Events Invitational Bracket. Towson has already defeated URI in the first quarterfinal. Liberty Vermont currently on ESPNU. And then Temple San Diego and Princeton Bradley later on tonight. The championship Wednesday, noon Eastern on ESPN2. Thrown away and committing a foul is Josh Rivera, who just checked into the game, and that falls under the category of an unforced error, just giving it away on the inbounds.
Well, a nice job switching that action, and then Abel basically became a defensive back, read the eyes of the passer, but you have to throw that ball long. And one of the things that Rivera could and should have done is essentially post up Abel, and so you can throw over the top.
Well, Wade has had Darian Williams on the bench for a while. He's been out about the last 4 minutes. NC State is making a little run here with him on the bench. As it's inbounded to Trey Holloman, who comes to Raleigh with a ton of experience, 3 years playing under Tom Izzo at Michigan State.
And he's really important because he's got a low error rate. He's just a smart point guard that can really score. Just had 25 points in their game against VCU.
They've got a number of transfers from winning programs. And as we mentioned, they've also got a very talented freshman in Matt Abel.
And you've got players that can pull up for contested jump shots and knock them down like it's nothing. What a luxury to have.
Abel has scored the last 7 for the Wolfpack. And overall, it's a 9-0 run, and Parker turns it over. A double dribble. 5 turnovers now committed by the Pirates, and Shaheen Holloway's making some changes.
Terrific shot fake by Matt Abel, just letting Tawan Simpkins fly by, and then going up against the smaller Bud Adams, just pulls up and shoots over him off one dribble. He has got a ton of talent. Never changed his expression.
A 9-0 run, NC State looking for the lead on this trip. Off the knee of Holloman into the backcourt. And Will Wade doesn't know why Holloman gave up on the play. Go get the ball, take the turnover, but don't make it a live ball turnover. And it winds up with a foul. Or a turnover as actually NC State is going to get it back, but Wade was not happy.
I think initially Holloman thought that thing's going out of bounds.
Right.
But he's not 100% either. He's had the flu. He didn't actually fly out with the NC State team. He came separately with Boo Corrigan, the AD.
And the lead now for the Wolfpack on the slam by Sagne. 18-17, forgive me. Seton Hall up by 1 still. Bud Clark at the controls for the Pirates. And what happened the last trip down was it was a goaltending call and a bucket for the Pirates. And nobody on the weak side of the glass except Elijah Fisher, who lays it in for Seton Hall to make it a 3-point game.
Now, Seton Hall has had some turnovers, but when they've gotten 2 on the ball, they've done a good job passing out of it That was just weak side rebounding. There was nobody there for NC State, so it was a free run-up. That was essentially a pass. He should get an assist for that miss.
Abel to the wing. Deng misses the three, and down with the rebound is Simpkins for the Pirates.
Well, NC State wants to shoot a lot of threes, but I'm not sure you want to shoot as many contested ones.
Simpkins, whose brother TK plays at Oregon. Both of them played at Elon last year. Seton McCray spins into the paint, splits a pair, and it'll go. What a drive.
Boy, the spin move right into contact and the concentration to get that into the bucket. The roller. These are the softest rims in America.
Every coach will tell you that. A nice response from Seton Hall, Jay, after that run from NC State.
Yeah, one that they needed, but just spinning against the contact, going right into the body of Breed. The holy roller.
Well, it's a ways to get out to the islands, but teams have come from near, in the case of Chaminade, and far, in the case of everybody else, to play in the Southwest Maui Invitational, although more western part of the country representation than normal, with Washington State, Boise State, USC, and Arizona State. It is always beautiful. The teams always have a lot of great activities. They get here a couple of days early and really experience the flavor of the islands. A lot of the look at the last 5 Maui Invitational champions, including the last 2, Auburn and Purdue, who each advanced to the Final Four.
This tournament has always been a great springboard, a great identifier of some of the best teams in the country. Yeah, I was on that catamaran the other day, the Sea Maui 3. Pretty good.
Yeah. You've had a busy couple of days.
I know, it's been taxing. You're welcome.
A.J. Seton McCray from Delray Beach, Florida, completes the three-point play, and Seton Hall back out to a 6-point lead and a little pressure. Terrence Arsenault is into the game for NC State, and immediately, just some poor communication on the passing, they turn it over, and Najai Hines with a weak side putback.
I don't know why Terrence Arsenault decided to pass it to Ben Allen Lubin there. You just don't want to give it to a big guy in that part of the floor. There's no reason.
Arsenault pulls up for a 3, a transfer from Houston dealing with a bit of an Achilles issue. Has missed the last 2 games. What an up and under and finish for Trey Holloman.
Holloman can not only run a team, he can get you something without a ball screen being run. And a good leader for NC State on the floor.
There's not a lot of experience within the program, but there's a lot of experience from other schools when you look at the likes of Holloman and Williams and Lubin and Copeland. Those are 4 guys who have played a lot of college basketball.
And everybody that Will Wade brought into this NC State program as transfers won where they were before, and that's important.
Seton McCray has to give the foul, as Seton Hall did not stop the ball out on the perimeter.
Trey Holloman, who played under Tom Izzo at Michigan State, brings a ton of toughness. He's reliable. And he's a good shooter. A couple years ago, he wound up shooting 43% from 3. But really good in pick and rolls. He can spot up, transition. He's got the ability to put you in rotation.
Scored 25 in their last game. A win over VCU.
He's at Michigan. Michigan State's got a pretty good history of point guards wearing headbands. Didn't Cassius Winston used to wear a headband?
Did? Yeah. You never wore a headband back in the day, did you?
No, and I wasn't going to. I had flowing hair back then. I wasn't going to get in the way of that.
Yeah. Ah, the good old days.
Yeah. I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
Back when I had a barber.
Good idea, but an errant pass by Clark. Yeah. Nothing flowing right now in that shot, Jay.
That shot is criminal.
By the way, that's me on the left, him on the right. Tough to tell from behind.
It is.
It's our director Mike Royd's favorite shot. You'll see that a lot during the college basketball season. Abel forces it up, and the foul is called, and Matt Abel will head to the free throw line.
Just aggressive drive by Abel. Just refusing the screen. A.J. Seton McCray was there, but his arms were down. And smart by Abel to just attack and look for the contact. But you really can't let him refuse that ball screen. You got to force him into it.
Top 25 recruit Matt Abel off to a nice start here today. Feast Week rolls on tomorrow night. Number 18, UCLA, taking on rival Cal in the Empire Classic at the Chase Center in San Francisco, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. With what's happened with the Pac-12, schools that competed against one another for years within the Pac-12, many of them are still continuing the rivalries now that they are in different conferences. I know you're as happy as I am. Arizona playing UCLA. That game's already happened, and we've got 3 former Pac-12 teams in this tournament. There's a travel as Abel got going a little bit too quickly. Got USC, Arizona State, and Washington State all competing here in the Maui Invitational.
It's hard to believe they're in different conferences now. I know it's part of the landscape we're in. I'm still struggling with the Brewers being in the National League.
That one you're going to have to get past. You're going to have to move on from.
A little 1-3-1 right now from NC State. The corners are going to be open, especially if Hines can screen.
And a lob over the top. Fisher is fouled by McNeil. And Clark kind of tapping himself on the side of the head as if to say, I needed to give my man a better pass.
See both the corners along the baseline. You're going to want to have 3 on the baseline to try to exploit this 1-3-1 and find some openings.
So Elijah Fisher, a senior from Toronto, is at the line. His 4th school in as many years. Texas Tech, DePaul, Pacific, the leading scorer, better than almost 16 a game last year for the Tigers, and now Seton Hall in his senior year. And a guy who historically has gotten to the free throw line a lot.
There's a touching reunion between you and Elijah at practice the other day. What is it? Are you both Torontians?
Torontonians.
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 But it's not Torontonio.
No. I'm not in charge of these things. You can just say we're both Canadians. As much to his chagrin, as people will see over the rest of the tournament. I'm just as nice to the Canadians from other parts of the country, too.
But it's not Canadionio.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
5-point lead, Pirates. McNeil, nice little bounce pass. Lubin is fouled.
Boy, that corner ball screen is really difficult to defend. Ben Allen Lubin, after the 45-degree cut cleared from the wing, he just set essentially a low ball screen after it's a screen. It's really a back screen, but that angle of attack is really difficult for the defense. You really have to have help side there, and it's a quick pocket pass and score.
And it's a big loss for Seton Hall. Bud Clark is going to sit after picking up his 2nd foul. Back into the game for the Pirates, Trey Parker.
That's a lot of penetrating ability going to the bench for Seton Hall. I'm not sure he's going to be here be there all that long, because he is vital for Seton Hall with his penetrating ability.
Then Allen Lubin, another 4 schools in 4 years guy. Notre Dame, Vandy, Carolina, and now NC State. How about a guy transferring from one rival to another, going from Chapel Hill to Raleigh?
He's probably going to hear it from North Carolina fans, but you know, his first 2 stops, the coaches were gone after that 1 year, and that's why he decided to take off.
Mike Williams, 3 early threes for Seton Hall. Launches one with the shot clock running down. Way too strong off the backboard, and back come the Wolfpack. Kind of an empty trip right there for the Pirates.
Yeah, it was not a good trip at all. Didn't move the defense.
McNeil squares his feet, rises up, and knocks it down.
He needed that, even though he's shooting 41% from 3, and he's having a great start to his sophomore year. But he was 0 for against VCU, but had 9 rebounds and 3 assists, so did a lot of other things.
And NC State back within 2 as they are starting to run offense a little bit more crisply here this afternoon. They are back within a pair of the Pirates. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's and Mauna Loa Macadamias. Try our new dill pickle macadamias now at Albertsons nationwide.
Seth, Jay Zubin coming up at the half. Will Wade needed a second chance. NC State needed to reset. Why it's worked so perfectly. The coach will weigh in, plus highlights from the inaugural Players Era tournament.
It's typical of this game, man. It's not that great. You know what I mean? It's not a bald head guys talking about basketball right here. Both of these teams kind of have very little value of the basketball. They want to be disruptive offensively and defensively. Neither of them has succeeded on either side right now in terms of being efficient.
See you at the half, guys.
Zubin, J. Will, Seth, thank you. 2-point lead for the Hull with 4:16 to go here in the first half. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis with you here in Lahaina. Matt Abel, the freshman, off the bench, has had some big buckets for the Wolfpack. Mike Williams, 3 early threes, all within the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. Seton Hall started very hot, but they have cooled off, and the Pack's right back in the game.
Well, Seton Hall needs to take better care of the ball. They got 7 turnovers in this first half. They don't even average 9 a game. A little different look now, more of a 2-3 look with the wings up. So Seton Hall seeing some different looks, especially without Bud Clark in the game. For Seton Hall, that reduces their penetrating ability.
Fisher trying and draws the foul on the floor. It'll be the 5th team foul committed by the Wolfpack, so no free throws.
Right here, Copeland looking at the official going, wait a minute, he lowered his shoulder right into my chest. What else could I do?
And inbounded into the backcourt to Fisher. Williams, Simpkins, a few different Pirates can help get the offense going here, along with Parker. Hines has played big minutes because Payne went to the bench early with 2 fouls. Shot clock running down again. They get it off and convert.
Boy, what a beautiful pass. I thought he was going to go up for the shot there, but a terrific delivery to Najai Hines. Good hands by the big guy to get it up off the glass quickly.
Parker the assist, 4-point lead, Pirates. Quiet half for Williams. And knocks down the jumper.
With him in the middle of the floor, so difficult to contain. I mean, Jarian Williams averaging 23 a game. And he's shooting 60% from the field and from 3 on this young season.
Those are his first 2 points of this one. Mike Williams with a good cut and an easy finish.
There's nobody staying in front. When the ball goes into the post, you just look into the middle, and Hines easily delivered that. There have been some good cuts by Seton Hall in this first half, just not enough of them.
Copeland. Again, the little bounce pass into Lubin and a chance for a 3-point play.
That little 2-man game has been very effective, especially when it's been below the free throw line with Van Allen Lubin. You see me set the screen, then came off, and instead of just slipped to the basket off that beautiful little pocket pass there by Quadir Copeland, who's a very versatile player.
That's his 4th assist of the game already. Van Allen Lubin. 68% field goal percentage last year for North Carolina, and again transferring right down the road to Raleigh. And Will Wade on a couple of occasions, without mentioning Hubert Davis or anybody specifically by name, has talked about Lubin's usage at Carolina, and as if the fan bases of those 2 schools need to have any more reason to start squawking at one another. There's going to be a lot of squawking this year. It'll be fun.
It'll be really fun.
Parker, and somebody missed an assignment. Of all the people to lose, how do you lose 270-pound Hines?
Well, Parker set a little back screen for him off that action. and just no communication on the switch.
And the lead back to 4. Abel fouled by Williams.
Seton Hall doing a better job of moving body and ball. A little crossover, getting it underneath the Hines, drawing 2 defenders, and then a terrific cut. Terrence Arsenault just lost Mike Williams on that cut. And a terrific back screen by Elijah Fisher off that action to get Hines down into the low post for that easy bucket. Just miscommunication on the part of NC State on that screen.
And the Wolfpack having trouble from the free throw line. They have now missed their last 5, and that's the front end of a 1-and-1 that Abel just missed. Good pressure by Darian Williams, but as it turns out, a little bit too much. And he is whistled for the foul, his first.
They switched out on to Simpkins on that little Iverson cut, and just the reach and the rake across the arms picked up the foul.
Seton Hall playing very efficiently at the offensive end, even with Bud Clark, their starting point guard, on the bench with a couple of fouls. But they turn it over here. And Shaheen Holloway less than pleased. A guy who knows a lot about playing the point guard spot. Obviously, as we mentioned, and you and I both covered him back in the day when we were just getting started on the broadcasting side. He was a tremendous player at Seton Hall.
A great player. Played for George Blaney and then Tommy Amaker at Seton Hall.
Abel driving Hines, soft off the window and in.
He got the switch with Hines on him out top after coming off that stagger action, and that was an excellent finish. Matt Abel's had a fabulous first half.
He's got 10 to lead the Wolfpack. Mike Williams has 11 for the Pirates to lead all scorers, and we're into the final minute of the first half. Nearly taken away. Abel called for the reach-in foul.
What Abel needs to do there is go with both hands after that ball. When it's one hand and a swipe, it's easier to pick up a foul. You go with both hands, it's tougher. That's a great finish over a shot blocker and a help defender. Trey Parker got up there too. That was not an easy finish, but Matt Abel made it look easy.
He
doesn't play like a freshman, does he?
No, not at all. And that's what Will Wade really emphasized to us yesterday at practice. Bud Clark back into the game with 2 fouls, with Seton Hall having possession here in the final minute of the first half.
Really have to be mindful of his penetration and not overhelp.
There's the penetration. Hines switches to the left and banks it home.
Boy, how about that footwork? His body was going to go to the right-hand jump hook and just pivoted back around to his left hand. He's had a really good first half as well.
What a big get the Plainfield, New Jersey native was for Shaheen Holloway in this program.
Well, I'd go after Clark on this play. Put him in a position where he's got to foul or give up.
10 seconds in the half. Led throughout by Seton Hall. Lubin with the pass fake and the easy path for the slam.
That was a keeper instead of a handoff, and Seton Hall did not react well to it. Great call there by Will Wade to go to that.
And a very competitive first half. The underdog Pirates got out to a pretty big lead. The Wolfpack made a couple of runs at them, but it is Seton Hall with the lead at the half here for game 1 on day 1 of the Southwest Maui Invitational. Matt Abel off the bench, the freshman, leading NC State back into it, knocking down shots. He's got 10, but it's Seton Hall led by Mike Williams, the third, 3 threes with the lead as we go back to the studio for the halftime report.
Put sunscreen on those domes, Seth and Jay Will.
Indeed, the dynamic duo out there, the dynamic duo in here. Welcome inside the halftime report. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy start for Seton Hall. Remember, last year they won 7 games the entire season. They win today, they'll be 6-0, and there is one guy you are keeping your eye on, one of the most impactful transfers in America.
I mean, look, talk about the #1 player in the portal, a guy who was first team All Big 12 last year, played for Grant McCaslin over at Texas Tech. It's Darian Williams. I mean, look, this guy's averaging 23 points per game on 61% shooting set from the field. He's a guy that is an absolute bucket getter. Now, he has 2 points in the first half. Not really worried about point production, Seth, but never really felt like he found his rhythm on the court. Now, a lot of that has been due to Seton Hall being disruptive, but literally 3 shots in the first half. For a guy that has to be the guy offensively, he needs to be more aggressive and assertive. Matt Abel's been great, Seth, but this guy needs to be the star.
I totally agree with you. Also, when you think about this NC State team and Will Wade and his system, you think about being disruptive. You think about creating offense out of the defense. You think about switching man-to-man, getting in passing lanes, getting deflections, and getting out ahead of the defense. They haven't done that. They're not connected defensively. Actually, Seton Hall has been more connected defensively, gotten more out of their defense than NC State. It'll be interesting to see the adjustments that Will Wade makes, because right now Seton Hall doesn't feel their defense. And if you don't feel their defense, you've got a real problem, because in the half court, they're still trying to figure themselves out, NC State. They'll be fine. They've made a great investment in this program. You can hire all the coaches you want. Unless you give them the resources, those great coaches aren't great coaches. You give that coach resources, which Will Wade has now, he's going to be able to go and recruit good players. But right now, they're not playing NC State basketball the way he wants them to play.
But also with Shaheem Holloway, shout out to Shaheem Jersey. The way their guards play defensively, they are disruptive. They're the ones creating pressure.
Exactly.
And they're raking, they're active, they're everywhere, and they're attacking the glass offensively.
By the way, you played Seton Hall in Hawaii, didn't you?
Well, we did well.
Yeah, we did. How many do you have in that game? How many do you have in that game?
I think it was plus
You don't
28.
think. Tell me how many you had in that game.
Plus 28. We'll leave it at that. We won the Maui
You said
Invitational.
28 to 29. You won the championship. Were you the MVP?
I was the MVP.
Okay, we got that out of the way.
Thank you. We'll save that for the B's.
Fair enough. We still got a little more of the A's to go here. NC State and Seton Hall. Matt Abel, just another one of the great freshmen that have permeated the sport so far this season. Back after this. Right on this very set and in this studio tonight, McCaffrey sees his old team for the first time ever as the Panthers take on the Niners. Peyton and Eli on ESPN2 with Texas and Arizona State to follow from Maui. First time in 11 years, Seton Hall is 5-0. Can they make it a perfect half dozen? Tight game. Second half on the way from the islands next.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Welcome back to the Southwest Maui Invitational here in Lahaina on the beautiful island of Maui, and a fun first half. Seton Hall and 23rd ranked NC State in a 2-point game. The Pirates leading basically the entire way, hanging on to that lead at halftime. Competitive first half.
Really competitive. I thought Seton Hall got off to a great start. You know, Mike Williams hit some threes, in large part because Seton Hall's offense really impacted the game, forcing some turnovers and getting some transition opportunities. But NC State hung in there. And in a half where Darian Williams only had 2 points, Matt Abel and Van Allen Lubin did a really good job. Matt Abel had 10. Van Allen Lubin had 8 points, 5 rebounds. They were really solid in those 2 areas.
Let's go inside the play, presented by Warby Parker.
Well, for Seton Hall, the Bud Clark penetration was really effective, getting 2 to play 1. That opened the offensive glass up for Najai Hines, the big freshman, who's a really talented player. He's just going to get better and better, and off the ball screen just rolls to the basket. But Matt Abel came in, whether it was catch and shoot or shooting it off the dribble or the right-hand drive with the beautiful finish off the glass. Abel played a lot more mature and a lot older than a freshman.
It'll be Pirate basketball to begin the second half. Seton Hall made 4 of its first 6 threes, missed its last 7.
1-3-1 to start out the second half for NC State. And Mike Williams, or A.J. State McCray, excuse me, doing a good job getting in that corner. And when you're going against that low man, I think the corners are where you need to attack.
Really nice ball movement by the Pirates on their first possession of the second half. Our next game today, USC and Boise State. So the winner of this one will play the winner of that one in a semifinal tomorrow.
Good help on Darian Williams.
Quadir Copeland can't make a three. And look at Bud Clark forcing the issue, pushing the pace. And Elijah Fisher with a strong finish and a foul.
Oh, just beautifully done. Elijah Fisher coming down as the trailer. And again, that penetrating ability of Bud Clark. Just drawing those two defenders, and Darian Williams just could not recover to a sprinting Elijah Fisher.
Who has a chance to complete a three-point play. This is a guy who was a five-star prospect when he came out of high school, reclassified. As we mentioned, fourth school in 4 years, already has some Big East experience. 2 years ago was with DePaul and had 21 points in a win earlier this season back on November the 7th over Wagner.
Well, you thought that NC State would come out after halftime as the aggressor, but it's been Seton Hall that has started out this second half more aggressive.
6 quick points in the first minute of the second half. And Mike Williams did not agree with that foul call, nor did his coach.
Nor should he. He got a forearm right in the chest. He didn't create that contact. The cutter did.
Copeland shakes his defender for a moment, bounces into the paint, and draws a foul.
NC State in the first half did not get as many paint touches as I expected. And clearly in the second half, they're making a concerted effort to get the ball into the paint.
Whether it's by dribble or by pass?
Yes.
Tough catch in traffic, and Lubin just had too many blue jerseys around him.
Yeah, and the biggest blue jersey was that of Bud Clark. He was right there. That pass was a bounce pass below the waist, and that's exactly where Clark would like to be able to get it.
Boy, Clark is a whirling dervish out there. He finds Williams, a finish and a foul, and it's all Pirates here to open the second half.
Just that little hesitation by Williams when he caught the ball in the lane got Darian Williams to jump up, and he was able to go into that contact to draw the foul. Just gave it wasn't even quite a shot fake. He just stopped and played off 2 feet. And Darian Williams went into the air. He just went right into his body. He's had a great game. This is the best that Mike Williams has played this year.
He's got a game-high 14, and Jay, this is the largest lead of the game all of a sudden for the Pirates.
And Mike Williams had 10 points against Fairfield, that game in which he got injured in the first half.
It's 9-0 run, a 9-0 run for the Hall here in the second half. McNeil blocked by Payne.
What a great defensive job on the ball.
They are one of the leading shot blocking teams in the nation. The combination of Payne and Hines up front. A couple of good looks. They can't knock it down, and then Fisher of Seton Hall gets called for his second.
After Stephon Payne blocked that shot, that was a great opportunity for Seton Hall to get a score on the other end. Got an offensive rebound. They got a couple good looks at the basket, came away with nothing. But right now, Seton Hall is just playing harder than NC State.
NC State needs to see the ball go through the basket, and they will right there on the putback by Darian Williams.
Nobody put a body on Darian Williams. Got on the baseline side, easy putback. He's got to touch the ball more in this second half for NC State.
He's got 4 in 4 tournament games, NCAA tournament games for Texas Tech last year. He averaged 21 a game. He is a sensational player.
Right now, you're not seeing NC State go past the three-point line, and they want to make Seton Hall protect the paint, make them prove it over the top, and right now Seton Hall is proving it.
A.J. Staten-McCray with his 3rd 3 of the game. Copeland puts it on the floor. Behind the back pass is taken away.
Talk about low percentage. NC State's not going out past the three-point line. They're going to do everything to protect the paint and see if Seton Hall can make shots over him.
Clark dribbled it off his foot out of bounds.
A lot of times you might want to have your heels on the three-point line. NC State inside the three-point line, and A.J. State and McCray could just waltz into that three with zero pressure on them.
12-point lead, Seton Hall. Mike Williams, who has had such a big game for the Pirates, has gone to the bench and is getting some medical attention right now at the end of the bench. Something to monitor, because he's been as big a reason as any, and you can see the discomfort he is in. You talked about the left knee situation that he's dealing with. Don't know if this is connected to that.
Certainly looks like it, but not sure.
Maybe it might be.
Maybe it's cramping.
Well, hard to say for certain. Maybe it is cramping. That would be the best case scenario for Seton Hall. Foul on Darian Williams. That is his third.
Just right over the top.
Ooh. And they are fortunate that did not go down for Tawan Simpkins, but he'll get a couple of free throws.
You don't expect that pass to be thrown to a guard, but that was really good awareness on the part of Seton Hall.
Williams with the ball, makes the pass, and then signals to the bench. So he felt something right away. You couldn't really see anything, but again, maybe it is just some sort of a cramp and something they can work through on that bench.
You know, in NC State's offensive possessions, they're not getting the kind of movement they need. And you got to give Seton Hall a lot of credit. They're very good with their pressure, and their help side has been really alert, especially early in the second half. They've been communicating. You know, they gave up an offensive rebound to Darian Williams, but outside of that, I think their defense has been good.
And Jay, NC State came into this game scoring over 100 points per game. Now, maybe not as tough a level of competition generally as they will see later, although they beat UAB and VCU and so on. But third in Division I at 100.8 points per game, and they're on pace to be somewhere around 60 so far in this one.
Well, give Seton Hall credit. I mean, this is a hard-playing team, and they do force a lot of turnovers. And the one thing we said, well, hold off a little bit. They haven't played anybody yet. But NC State is somebody. They're ranked 23rd for a reason. And I've been really impressed with how hard Seton Hall is playing. And they're showing more energy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Showing more fight. They're on a 14-2 run to start the second half. A deflection and a steal, and it's Bud Clark blocked from behind, but a foul is called.
Everybody rallying to the ball with active hands. NC State turning it over yet again and leading to offense off this Seton Hall defense. And the Pirate fans have to be encouraged with the way the Hall is playing against 23rd ranked NC State. You're not going to find a quicker guard in the country than Bud Clark.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's and Tick Pick. Fans know the best memories start with the best prices.
Seton Hall up 14 points in this second half against NC State, and the Hall has come out with more juice, more energy, more force than the Wolfpack to start this second half, getting into the paint, drawing defenders up into the air and going into the contact, and NC State not coming out to shooters. A.J. State and McCray's got 14 points in this game, as does Mike Williams. But one thing that Seton Hall has done, they forced 9 turnovers from NC State, but they basically won the battle of the paint. They're winning the turnover battle, and they are dominating in the fast break battles. 12-2 in fast break points in favor of Seton Hall. And this is an NC State team that likes to play fast.
Exactly, and they have been unable to get easy buckets in transition at all in this game. Mike Williams, again, working through what appears to be some sort of a cramping issue, is now standing behind the bench. We'll see if and when he is able to return. Even without him the last couple of minutes, the Hall is now out to its largest lead of the game.
Let's see if NC State can get a little bit more player movement and ball movement.
Contested shot blocked by A.J. Seton McCray. It's still Wolfpack ball.
The Seton Hall defense is really doing a great job of moving on the flight of the ball. You know, they're not adjusting once it's on the catch. They're moving on the flight of the ball.
That is the 5th block of the game for Seton Hall. We mentioned they are among the leaders in the nation, 8.4 per game, 3rd best in the country. They don't give a lot of points up at all, although again the competition level not great before this game. Lubin working hard. Another block, this time by Jacob Dar. Shot clock didn't reset. Holloman didn't know it and did not get it off in time.
Well, NC State got exactly what they wanted out of that initially. Darian Williams was the inbounder. They set a little screen for him. He gets a post up, but just couldn't finish the play over Seton Hall walling up in front of him. And there's been 0 rhythm in this game for Darian Williams. I mean, he's been one of the best players in the country all season long, and he's had very few opportunities in this game.
Again, it was a 2-point game at the half. The Pirates outscoring NC State 16-2 in the second half.
Let's see if NC State applies a little bit more pressure. They're out beyond the 3-point line now, which they were not to start the second half.
Good show there by Lubin. Seton McCray gets a decent look. Misses the 3, and Darian Williams the rebound.
Good transition defense by Seton Hall.
Holloman into traffic, turned it over, got it back, kicked it out. Williams for 3. And he gets the friendly roll on the soft Maui rims.
And he needed that. He needs to see the ball go through the net. We need a more aggressive Darian Williams in this game to win.
Payne draws a double team.
How did that pass get all the way to the other side of the floor? That thing was tipped, and nobody from NC State could grab it.
Shot clock at 10. Clark floats it up for Payne. Blocked from behind. The Pirates have it. Clark, the floater, will go.
Just quicker to the ball. And Will Wade is standing over on his bench saying that should have been our ball, and it wasn't. It was Bud Clark's ball.
Lubin the shot fake. Puts it on the deck. Blocked. No, it's a foul.
Boy, just that simple little shot fake got Payne off the floor and opened up that drive.
Let's listen in to the last NC State huddle with Will Wade.
Everybody take a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath. Let's reset. Hey, we got a tough road to home, but we can do it. Hey, we got to be the aggressors for the last 16 minutes of this game. We have to turn it up and be the aggressors for the last 16 minutes of this game.
And he is saying exactly what you've been saying and seeing. Their team has not been the aggressor today.
No, they've been back on their heels from the very beginning of the game. I was a little surprised. I really expected NC State to come out in the second half and hit Seton Hall with a bag of hammers to start. And it was the exact opposite. You know, Seton Hall came out as the aggressors. And they've been the more together group, the more communicative group. Just have more juice to what they're doing individually and collectively.
3 subs for the Pirates, including freshman Najai Hines, who gave him some great minutes in the first half. Quadir Copeland getting some thoughts from Will Wade as he is subbed out of the game. Then Alan Lubin at the line. He has played his whole career, Jay, at the collegiate level as an undersized 5. He's really a 5 who's got the body of a 4. He's about 6'7", 6'8", but he never gives up an inch in terms of effort.
Well, he's got good feet. Good offensive rebounder. He's got good hands. He's done a really nice job in this game. And what I really like about him, he gets in and out of ball screen situations really quickly and efficiently.
Mike Williams back into the game. Good news for the Pirates. Hines off to Clark. They've still got time. Through the legs of Hines. Now Abel. Left hand too strong. Williams the rebound.
Well, he got the contact there, but no call. NC State's had a really difficult time finishing.
And Williams is laboring again, Jay. Mike Williams is not moving around as he needs to. They're playing on for now But it remains to be seen whether Williams can stay in this game. Shot clock at 5. Fisher into a lot of traffic, and that's a travel. And Williams is trying to stay in, but it looks like Shaheen Holloway will make the move. Williams out and A.J. Staten McCray back in, and that left leg just cramping up on him again.
He took the knee brace off.
Very little flow at the offensive end for the Wolfpack. A pretty good look here for Darian Williams, but he can't hit a 3.
Well, it's so tough when you haven't established any rhythm, with which he has not. Good post up by Elijah Fisher. And excellent recognition to throw over the top, and Williams has picked up another one.
That is number 4. Mike Williams trying to get himself back into the game. Darian Williams, no relation, just picked up foul number 4 with 12:19 to go.
Well, that takes a big weapon out of the game and a big focus of the Seton Hall defense to the NC State bench. He's a lot easier to guard when he's not in the game.
And it's already 6 team fouls here in the second half committed by the Wolfpack. Fisher the handoff to Simpkins as they move it around the perimeter. Hines the handoff.
He can roll back into the post.
Simpkins got it blocked by Abel. That's going to be a held ball, and the possession arrow will turn it over to NC State. So it is Seton Hall, all business here right now, trying to be 23rd ranked NC State, leading by 13 as they get going here in Paradise, day 1 of the Maui Invitational. Next game in the top half of the bracket here with the Southwest Maui Invitational, the USC Trojans, who are 4-0 on the season, coming off a triple overtime win over the Troy Trojans a few days ago. It's going to be a very competitive game against Leon Rice and the Boise State Broncos, who are 4-1. Should be a good one here in the second game. It'll start about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Seton Hall with a double-digit lead here well into the second half against favored NC State.
And the one thing Seton Hall has to be mindful of, they want to continue to defend at a high level, but on the offensive end, take care of the basketball. Be strong with it. So that last turnover, I mean, you don't get a shot, you don't get a chance to get fouled, you don't get a chance for an offensive rebound.
So with Darian Williams, Jay, on the bench with 4 fouls, what is the game plan? What should the game plan be for the Wolfpack offensively?
Well, you want to try to look for Matt Abel because he's their best shooter on the floor right now. And Trey Holloman wants to be aggressive with the ball because he can get things into the paint.
Another block. This is the Pirates' specialty. That was Elijah Fisher. And in transition, a finish at the other end for A.J. Staten McCray.
And another bucket in transition for Seton Hall. NC State has got nothing in transition, but just great defense to angle out that drive. Couldn't turn the corner. Instead, you're going east-west, and a terrific block by Elijah Fisher. And that opened up transition for A.J. Staten McCray. Couldn't stop the ball, gets all the way to the 10. I mean, this has been a clinic for Seton Hall. Their defense has been on point for the most part. Is that the first miss they've had?
At the free throw line? Yes, it is. Blocks are 7-2 in favor of the Pirates. Fast break points are 16-2 in favor of the Pirates.
Good recipe for winning.
Holloman will head to the free throw line. Good aggressive drive as he draws a foul.
For the most part, Seton Hall has done a good job of protecting its paint. Will Wade wants to get paint touches and then spray it. That's how you get those open threes. But those have been few and far between in this game against the Pirates.
Wednesday, our NBA triple header features the Pistons and the Celtics at 5 Eastern. What are you? The Pistons are having the T-Wolves and the Thunder in the middle game. And then at 10 o'clock Eastern, the Rockets and the Warriors. It all starts with NBA Countdown at 4:30.
The Oklahoma City Thunder look like a team. I mean, they're the reigning NBA champions. They're looking like a team that could win 70 games.
Yeah. What are they, 16-1?
It's ridiculous how good their defense is.
Led by Hamiltonia, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You didn't know that.
Hamiltonio?
Hamiltonia from Hamilton.
Well, Hamilton and Hamiltonian is right.
Yeah.
Torontonian is a problem. I'm going to have a discussion with your prime minister.
Fisher cradles it, hesitates, and hits.
Boy, how about how he put on the brakes there off his plant foot, let the defender fly by.
And they are getting offense from a number of different players right now. Holloman again the drive, takes the hit and finishes this one.
Well, this is the kind of aggressiveness to get into the paint that Will Wade wants to see. And it's not surprising that it's been Trey Holloman, the senior from Minneapolis, Minnesota, played his first 3 years at Michigan State, just goes right into the body of the freshman shot blocker, Najai Hines, and then flips it up with intentionality to get it off the glass. It's a great individual play by Trey Holloman.
He is 4 for 4 from the line today and has made 17 in a row overall going back over the last 5 games. And the announcer jinx rears its ugly head. It even is a thing out here in the islands.
Well, if you wouldn't do that, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Just give his stats afterwards. Yeah, Trey Holloman was a really good football player in high school, defensive back. Not a surprise that Tom Izzo recruited him so hard. He loves football players.
He does. Tipped into the backcourt. Parker now back in at the point. Finds Fisher in the corner, misses the 3, and the rebound, Musa Sanye. NC State having to work hard to gain ground at the offensive end. Another block by Hines.
Boy, the help side defense for Seton Hall has been really good. Good pass.
Wide open in the corner. The 3 a little bit too strong for Parker, but look who's there to clean it up. Hines with a follow slam. And an injured player, Musa Sanye, is down for NC State.
He's holding that left knee area. I hope he's okay.
He is behind the play. This is at the other end of the court from where the basket was just scored. And in a significant amount of discomfort as they are checking on that left leg.
Boy, what a first half. What a game Najai Hines has had. The 6'10 freshman from Plainfield, New Jersey for Seton Hall. He has been outstanding in this game.
Sanye in some discomfort as he tries to walk it off. Let's keep an eye.
He bumped knees there with Fisher, and then he got hit again. That looked like the real problem was when he went up against Hines.
So he'll continue to get some medical attention on the bench. NC State down by 15 to Seton Hall. 4 in double figures for the Pirates. They are shooting 51% of the game to 38% for the Wolfpack.
Smart to put Hines in some ball screen action.
Abel, not just a shooter.
He was able to turn down that ball screen, but putting Hines in ball screen action gets him away from the rim and allows you to attack the basket.
And good defensive hustle by Abel, but couldn't quite keep it in bounds.
NC State is starting to show a little more juice. Now here's the ball screen, but because he turns it down, but Hines is away from the basket because he's got to be up there to guard that ball screen. But ball fakes and shot fakes right now are going to be, that's a bad pass.
Parker turns it over and then is called for the foul at the other end, trying to prevent the lob.
Yeah, there was no reason to throw that pass. It was a bad angle. You're throwing it into traffic. You can't pass away from the defense.
He went up, made a play on the ball, but wound up making contact as well. He didn't like the call. I don't think Shaheen Holloway liked the call, but it's a couple of free throws for Paul McNeil Jr.
Well, he wouldn't have been in that position without turning the ball over. There's just no reason to throw that pass, especially when you've got a 13-point lead.
McNeil, the only scholarship holdover from a year ago in the NC State program.
But he's a talented player, 3-level scorer. He's best when he's got the ball in his hands.
He really finished last year strong. The numbers really ticked up at the end of the season for him, and he has carried that into the early part of this year.
We had 27 against UNC Greensboro. He knocked in 6 threes in that game against the Spartans.
And they're creeping back into it. They've trailed by as many as 16. It's at 11 right now with just over 9 minutes to go.
Right now, this is about stops for NC State. They've been playing back on their heels. They're starting to show a little bit more energy right now.
Fisher in the post. Does not see the man behind him, but Abel couldn't get it, and Fisher spun and scored.
Well, you can't let somebody split a double. Abel needed to be shoulder to shoulder, but he went after the ball, and that opened up a gap for Fisher to get through.
13 now for Fisher, and a 3 at the other end for Jerry Dang. A junior from Rochester, New York, a transfer from Florida State.
Somebody's got to get into the middle. Here comes the double, but it's not a tight double. You just pivot right through it. Might have even gotten an N1 there. And then off the ball screen and roll, that opened up the shake action coming up from the corner for Jerry Dang, and he caught that ball ready to shoot.
The foul call was on Van Allen Lubin, a sub here for Will Wade as Trey Holloman returns. Matt Abel sits.
And you always say catch it ready to shoot, but I remember Jay Wright at Villanova. Their mantra was catch it to shoot it. You're never going to be more open than when you first catch the ball. And if you catch it to shoot it, then make the defense take it away from you. But if they don't, shoot that thing, man. Don't hesitate.
A.J. State McCray has been doing that this year. He's a 6th-year player, 4 years with Samford, with Miami last year. Made 17 starts and now finishing up his career with the Pirates.
Samford was Bucky Ball. Bucky McMillan is now the head coach at Texas A&M. They should have called it Buckonia.
You're going to get you. You keep playing this game, we're both going to get in trouble. We got enough to deal with. Another block. This time it's Simpkins.
What a contest.
And the finish. What a sequence there by Tawan Simpkins.
But that's why, Dan, you need a shot fake. You shouldn't be getting jump shots blocked by a guard.
And now a steal. And a slam for Staten McCray. And it's all Hall right now here in Maui.
Seton Hall is having fun. And I used to have a baseball coach that used to say, having fun is doing hard things well. And Seton Hall has done the hard things in this game, and that's why they're having so much fun with this 16-point lead. Forcing the turnover, and that is a highlight reel pass and dunk by the Hall.
Time now for the plays of the game, brought to you by Lodge Cast Iron.
Well, this defense by Seton Hall has been inspired. Blocking shots, getting steals, turning defense into offense. Seton Hall has blocked 9 shots in this game, and they have 9 steals as well. And without a shot fake on the perimeter, Tawan Simpkins blocks the shot, then goes the other way to get the easy bucket after doing hard things well. Boy, the Hall has been really impressive in this game with their energy, their enthusiasm, and their togetherness. They've had to battle through some adversity with Mike Williams dealing with cramps. But that young man, Najai Hines, the freshman from Plainfield, New Jersey, he has been terrific in this game. Look at that, 19 points off 11 turnovers. Not only are they forcing turnovers, but Seton Hall is converting on the other end. It's not just the turnovers. I mean, NC State's 5 of 17 in the second half.
What coach doesn't love to see numbers like that? You know, with the offensive end, sometimes the ball goes in, sometimes the ball doesn't, but they are creating so many good opportunities for themselves with the defense. Mike Williams still on the bench, and we are told by NC State that Musa Sanye should be able to return. It was a knee-on-knee situation, nothing too serious, and could indeed be back.
Another contested jump shot for NC State.
And a timeout on the floor, 7:26 to go here in Maui. The Hall up a bunch.
Last year, the Southeastern Conference was the best conference in the country by far. They got 14 of their 16 teams into the NCAA tournament. They had 2 Final Four teams, a national champion. What do you see as the best conference this year?
I think the SEC is going to be right back in that mix. But I think the Big 12, the early returns are looking really strong for them. Houston had 9 guys that played in that national championship game with Florida back, and then they added a great freshman core. I think there's multiple teams in the Big 12 that will end up competing for a Final Four spot.
And it's a comeback year for the ACC. The ACC is going to be much better this year than it was last year, but that's actually not the right answer. The right answer is, who cares? We're in Maui.
Focus, Jay, focus. 67-51, Seton Hall leading NC State here in the first game of the Maui Invitational. How about that? And granted, it's a young season, but no ranked team has lost to an unranked team yet this season. 96-0. That streak is certainly in jeopardy right now. Darian Williams, kind of now or never right now for the Wolfpack. Back into the game, playing with 4 fouls.
Darian Williams only has 7 points in this game and only 7 shot attempts. Seton Hall's done a great job of showing him a lot of bodies and not letting him get started. Boy, what a great game for A.J. State-McCray. He came into this one averaging about 10 points per game. He had 13 against Fairfield, but he's got 21. That's 22 points now for A.J. State-McCray.
14 in the second half. He's also got 6 rebounds in the game.
I think NC State fans are watching this wondering why you didn't talk about his free throw percentage before he shot.
1 announcer jinx per game is fine. Thank you.
Good job by Elijah Fisher guarding that curl.
Nice look from Holloman into Lubin, and a chance for 3.
Jai Hines got beat on that play, and the last thing you want to do is foul. You can see after this screen, the roll, he's trying to recover and goes down and fouls and gives up the basket. You know, just not a good job by the tag guy. He was sticking with the perimeter player. You got to tag that roll and help Hines recover.
Just the second on Hines as Lubin completes the 3-point play. Abel back in as Copeland will sit now for the Pack. Copeland has had a very quiet game.
Right now for Seton Hall, with this full court pressure, it's all about taking care of the ball.
Bud Clark on the bench right now. Tawan Simpkins will help get the ball over. And Trey Parker maybe with a wise decision right there.
Got to remember shot fakes and ball fakes.
Simpkins left it just a little bit short.
Numbers for NC State.
Simpkins trying to get back into the play. Open in the corner. Able for 3.
Boy, when Simpkins took that ball in, took the hit and went to the deck, that meant 5-on-4. And NC State handled it really well to exploit that advantage. And Darian Williams with an excellent pass when he drew the defender to get it to Matt Abel, who was wide open. It's not just missing that shot. It's Simpkins being on his back. It's 5-on-4, everybody scrambling. And an intelligent decision by Darian Williams to make that extra pass to get it to Abel for the easy corner 3.
Abel, a very efficient 6 of 9, 15 points. A steal by Holloman, but he was slipping and had to give the ball up, and it's back to Seton Hall.
Boy, Seton Hall very fortunate there after that turnover to get it back.
State-McCray.
Why? Why take that shot?
Payne had a hand on it, but couldn't squeeze it. And there's still plenty of time left for NC State to try to get back into this game. Williams Got it. He's into double figures, and they've got it down to single digits.
Just a poor decision by Seton Hall to take that shot. Now they're in a position where I don't want to say they're rattled, but the momentum is NC State's right now. And Seton Hall has, you don't want to say they've been in control of the game, but they've certainly been ahead. And Williams, just because of the poor shot, NC State, those are basically turnovers, bad shots. It really puts your defense in a bad spot.
2 free throws the rest of the way for the Hull. Tawan Simpkins at the line for the Pirates, trying to snap this 9-0 Wolfpack run. And they have been very, very good at the free throw line in this game now. 14 for 15 as a team. The noise you hear is the Wolfpack fans. They outnumber the Seton Hall fans here, and they've gotten a lot noisier as NC State's gotten a little bit closer here in recent minutes. Couple of big free throws for Simpkins.
But Seton Hall, for the most part, has been money at the foul line, and that's how you win games.
Abel drives. Not this time, and State McRae doing everything this afternoon.
Boy, terrific job by Stephon Payne to put pressure on that shot without fouling. And Abel was able to get that drive by using that fake.
The guards and the wings have done a great job of the defensive glass for Seton Hall today. Bud Clark sizing up Darian Williams. Knocks it down.
Oh, good luck staying in front of that. That's just quick on quick for Bud Clark. He's got speed, he can create, and he's also got really good scoring instincts.
Holloman had to give it up. Abel in the corner, not this time, and another rebound for Simpkins. He's fouled.
Very few offensive rebounders for NC State. Seton Hall's just flying around defensively. He just stops on a dime, pulls back, and even though he's smaller, when you're good enough, you're big enough, and Adam Bud Clark is good enough.
Jay, a few weeks ago in the Big East preseason poll, Seton Hall was picked to finish last. Shaheen Holloway was asked about how he felt about that, and he said, I don't care. They haven't seen my team.
Exactly. He's exactly right. I mean, you're going a lot off last year. You had a lot of new pieces that came in from different places. Look, preseason polls are there for interest, and you like it when they're right, but those things aren't set in stone.
So much changes year to year, obviously. Last year they went 7-25, 2-18 in the league. 2 years ago, as you'll remember, they had a great year. Won 25 games, won the NIT, and they are looking to make some noise in the Big East this year, and certainly making some noise here in Lahaina today. NC State had it down to 9. Now it's back to 15. It's Clark, another steal, but he missed the lay-in, and Fisher is called for the foul.
Yeah, Clark heard a few footsteps, but what a great steal. That was just a simple ball screen, roll, and replace action, and Bud Clark read that like he was a defensive back. Just a beautiful steal, but he was looking back, worried about Darian Williams. Remember, when he went in before, I think it was him, when Trey Holloman tried to block it from behind, and he just sort of heard footsteps there and missed an easy layup, unlike him.
10 steals now for Seton Hall, even though they couldn't capitalize. Still an impressive number. Williams at the other end knocks down the front end.
Next to the block out here, the most important thing for Seton Hall is Pooh Corrigan, the athletic director at NC State, the brother of Tim Corrigan of ESPN, and the son of the great Gene Corrigan, former Notre Dame athletic director, Virginia commissioner of the ACC. Good fake.
Fisher off to Payne for the slam.
Boy, that's how you break pressure. Great job of getting to the middle to present yourself as a receiver against that pressure.
Lubin for three, knocks it down. Ben Allen Lubin with his second three on the young season to get him back within 12, and Will Wade will use a timeout with 4:18 to go.
Ben Allen Lubin's been one of the bright spots for NC State. He's got 16 points, 7 rebounds in this ball game.
12-point lead, the Hall trying to finish it off. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Let's build a retirement and benefits plan that works for your team. Warby Parker, prescription eyewear for clear vision on and off the court. And Southwest Airlines, score all-star hospitality on every flight.
Well, Seton Hall's A.J. Staten McCray has had his best game in a Seton Hall uniform. He has been truly outstanding in this game. 7-11 of 11 from the field. He's hit 3 threes, grabbed 7 rebounds, 22 points. For the graduate from Delray Beach, Florida, played at both Samford and Miami. He came in with 3 straight double-figure games. But man, can he make shots. Got a really good pull-up game and can make contested pull-up jump shots. But his defense, presenting himself as a receiver against the press, he's made plays throughout the game. And, you know, Dan, we were just talking at the break. Both teams have 12 turnovers, but the turnovers have been different. NC State's turnovers have been live ball, and that's gotten Seton Hall out in transition to score off their defense. So even though the turnover numbers are even, it's really come out in the favor of Seton Hall. Don't want to catch the ball there in the coffin corner. Got lucky.
The steals and the blocks have really led to the points in transition and the points off turnovers, obviously. And it's not like Seton Hall's been lights out from beyond the arc. They were in the early going. But they're just 6 for 20 from 3 today, but still have a 12-point lead because the defense has been leading to offense.
What a crossover. My goodness.
Clark couldn't finish it. Payne, shot clock at 2. Simpkins for 3.
Boy, that offensive rebound kick out was a huge play in this game for Seton Hall.
Now 5 in double figures for the Pirates after that Simpkins 3.
And when you're down like this, it forces you to rush a little bit, and then you wind up taking a shot. Now you're spending way more time on defense than on offense.
No question, the ranked Wolfpack, the favorite coming into this game. Their only leads were 2-0 and 4-3. Otherwise, it's been the Hall. Fisher swings it. Simpkins again. Weak side rebound, Payne out of bounds to the pack.
He's trying to hold off his assignment. Wound up having to go after that with one hand. Look at that crossover. Gets past Lubin, and then the offensive rebound when Darian Williams had to come over try to stop the drive. That opened up the glass for Payne, and he intelligently looks out for the step-in 3.
Copeland cannot get his man in the air, but it makes a tough shot in spite of it. But it's still a 13-point game, and now under 3 to play. Boy, they've got good, poised ball handlers, getting them over possession after possession. It's not just Clark. Simpkins and Staten McCray doing a lot of work back there as well.
There's been no panic against pressure on the part of Seton Hall. For the most part, they've taken care of the ball pretty well.
Way into the backcourt as Simpkins will run it down. Clark obviously not in a rush. The clock is the ally of the Pirates. Drives and draws a foul.
Well, he doesn't need a ball screen to punch the paint. How do you stay in front of that? Just so quick and fast with the ball. And it's not just because he's 5'10". He plays low. And he wins the shoulders game 90% of the time.
So Juan Simpkins may have something going on right now, whether he's cramping as well. We haven't seen Mike Williams in a long time, and Simpkins is trying to work something out, but is still in the game at the moment. And we will see this from time to time here in this arena. Simpkins now out, Trey Parker back in. And remember, win or lose, everybody's got another game tomorrow and another game the day after that.
Remember all the cramping we used to see years ago before they had air conditioning in this building?
Kansas had a very tough year back in the day. Multiple guys having to leave the game. Copeland the bucket. Tough place to try to make a pass and inbound it there. Knocked out of bounds. Still Seton Hall ball.
Well, you don't want to inbound it into that corner because it's an easy place to be trapped. You want to catch it as best you can. Free throw line extended. And this is a really tough place from which to inbound the ball. You got a spot throw in right near the corner.
State McCray gets it into Clark. And he's immediately fouled. And he races up to the free throw line. Part of the reason is he's got to retie his shoe before he shoots a couple of free throws.
Seton Hall 18 of 20 from the foul line. That's 90%, Dan. Just helping you out.
First game here with the Southwest Maui Invitational, with the winner to take on the winner of our next game. We got Boise State and USC coming up next.
That USC Boise State game. Southern Cal has SEC caliber athletes. And really good size. That's Chad Baker-Mazara.
Speaking of SEC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Played at Auburn. Their Final Four team last year.
Really looking forward to watching Ezra Asar play in person too. He is a load on the inside. Boise State though has some good size, good experience. And it should be a very competitive game in the second one. McNeil, and fouled by Fisher. And right now Shaheen Holloway just wants to see this clock moving.
One of the ways you keep it moving is don't foul.
And they're doing it without two key players in Mike Williams and Tawan Simpkins, both of whom appear to have had cramping issues in this game. We haven't seen Williams in a while. McNeil makes it an 11-point game, but just a minute 50 to go. Turned over, or is it? Great hustle there by State McCray. And they've still got it and can run a few more seconds off the clock.
Not only was Seton Hall first to the floor on that loose ball, they were the only one to the floor.
Clark the step back. And that, you would think, should do it. 13 points. They ran almost 30 seconds off the clock, and although it was a broken play, got a bucket out of it. Holloman, nice kick to Abel. Rebound Clark. As Fisher wound up on the deck, but this is an impressive performance here by Seton Hall.
Right now, just play keep away and run clock.
As you alluded to earlier, they did the hard things really, really well in this game.
This is a really impressive performance by Seton Hall.
Shot clock is at 1. Don't know if Payne sees it. He does, but doesn't get the rim, so it's back over to the pack. Time now for the player of the game, brought to you by Tommy Bahama.
And A.J. Staten McCray with that 22-point performance, played both ends of the floor really effectively. 7 of 11 from the field, knocked down some threes. And he was really energetic on the defensive side as well. This whole Seton Hall team showed a ton of energy and togetherness defensively.
Deep one for Holloman, and it goes. Still a 10-point game and under 30 seconds to play. as the Wolfpack will have to try to regroup, and they'll play a good team tomorrow, no matter whether it's USC or Boise State. And these games all count the same, right? At the end of the year, when you're looking at resumes and so forth, you got to put it behind you and see what you can do tomorrow. But there will be probably some tough talk from their coach in the aftermath of this game. This is not what he expected, certainly not what the fans for NC State out here in Maui expected. There are high hopes for this program this year.
You know, Darian Williams wound up with 12 points in this game, 6 rebounds. You know, he had to deal with some foul issues with those 4 fouls, but Seton Hall did a really good job of taking him out of the game. I mean, he's had 32 in a game this year against UNC Greensboro, I think it was, and had 28 against VCU. I mean, he's a big-time scorer, limited to half his average in this one.
McNeil, no. And down with a rebound, another one for Seton McCray. The Pirates have scored 50 points, 50 in the second half against NC State, and Shaheen Holloway and company have picked up a very nice win here in game 1 of this tournament as they beat NC State 85-74 to run their record to 6-0 and to hand the Wolfpack its first loss of the season. An impressive performance on a number of fronts for the Pirates here to open up the Southwest Maui Invitational. The Hall into the semis tomorrow against the winner of the Trojans and the Broncos. We'll have that game for you coming up about 30 minutes from now. Just getting going, guys, here at the Southwest Maui Invitational. A.J. Seton McCray leading the way. Mike Williams knocking down threes. The Pirates win it by 11 as we send you back to the studio again with Zubin.
That escalated quickly.
That it did. Second half was something. You stepped out. You
need
came
something
back.
to drink.
Double-digit game.
I'm okay now. All right, just checking.
I'm well recovered after that game.
Welcome inside the College Basketball Live Scoreboard. Coming up about 30 minutes from now, USC and Boise State. USC's coming off a triple overtime buzzer-beating win, carrying that momentum with them to the Islands. Let's talk about the second half momentum here for Seton Hall. They now have 6 wins. They had 7 all of last year, but the intangible here is the toughness they displayed. It really stood out to you.
The hardest playing, toughest team finds a way to win. Teams that give multiple efforts find a way to win. They create offense out of their defense. They get 50-50 balls, and they own the identity of the game. And let's watch right here. Let's watch this tape. This tape speaks volumes. 40 points in the paint, 13-6 points off turnovers, early help, closeout, contest. Get the 50-50 ball, and you're out playing ahead of the defense. This is Seton Hall basketball. This is what I thought was NC State basketball. But Seton Hall was more active, more alert, more connected. Great job of getting in the pass lane. Once again, creating a turnover. You create a turnover. Notice the defensive transition or the lack of defensive transition. And finally, first to the floor. You've heard that 8,000 times. Active, alert. Here's a 50-50 ball right here. Some teams go after it on the floor. Some teams reach. Seton Hall goes down and gets on the ground, gets the ball, secures the possession, and actually scored out of the possession. If I'm Will Wade and I'm watching that tape after this game, I am sick to my stomach. Control your controllables. The one thing you control is how hard you play, how you can compete. And you know what? That is unacceptable effort from NC State.
Wow. You know, every time you saw Seton Hall score the rock, you saw multiple NC State players go like this. Like everybody's kind of standing around. You didn't see a sense of urgency. And look, I think that could be mended over time, right? It's early in the season, but that's going to get called out by Will Wade. Just off your point off the top, Zubin, think about this. You said that, last year they won 7 games.
7 games
right?
total.
2 of 18 in the Big East. 7 of 25 overall.
Right.
And they have a reported NIL budget of $1.5 million.
Total.
So, these are things that we're going to talk about throughout the course of the season that I think are very imperative. Some teams have larger budgets, but sometimes when you have larger budgets, players kind of show up thinking they've already done it. Now, I'm not saying that's applied to anybody on NC State's team, but it sure as hell felt like you watched one team that already felt like they had accomplished something, and there's another team that felt extremely hungry, right? Scraping and clawing for food.
One team played like a bunch of dogs.
Yes.
And the other team, at times, played like a bunch of dogs, but with an OG.
Right.
All right? And there's a difference. Like, there was a sense of urgency.
Yes.
I watched Seton Hall, and I saw a sense of urgency. I watched NC State, and they wanted it to happen. Seton Hall made it happen. Jay Will,
well, it's like little things. It's, defensively, and Jay Billis made the point earlier, just what they did out of the defense. I mean, who's up on the ball screen? If I recall in that game, I would say, just stop it for a second. Who has a hand up, right? And you look how active Seton Hall's playing. Just look, hands are digging down. Everybody's communicating stuff. Like, look at the multiple efforts here given by Seton Hall on the same possession.
I mean, this is just unacceptable effort. I mean, when you look at the early help, the contest at the rim, and when you contest at the rim, now all of a sudden you're attacking transition and no containing the basketball. Look, you got to corral the ball in defensive transition. You got to corral the basketball. Just a lack of commitment. Look at it. No, is anyone in the stands?
Is there a hand up? Like, by the way, you're also down double digits, and I get that that's a matchup problem there, but it's only a matchup problem when I actually get my tail down in the stance and I'm ready to actually defend it. Jay Billis said this on the broadcast. He said that Seton Hall did a great job of taking Darian Williams out of the game. And I said, okay, I give Seton Hall credit, but I also give Darian Williams a lot of blame because you have to be aggressive. And I get he had 4 fouls late in the game. It's a guy that averaged 23.3 points per game. It's a guy who's a veteran. He's been around the block before. And by the way, if they take you out of your game offensively, you can still show up with assists. You can still show up with rebounds. You can still show up with effort on the defensive end. And you didn't see that sense of leadership from him throughout the course of this game.
That guy was brought in to be an All-American.
Yes.
That guy was brought in to be the focal point of what they did offensively and defensively. That guy was brought in to be the culture creator, a guy that's been to a Sweet 16. And he was a spectator today.
Fair enough. Look, just one thing for context for what Jay said, a $1.5 million budget for Seton Hall. Keep in mind, the team that wins the Players' Era in 1 week will pick up $2 million.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
$2 million in 1 week, and their entire roster.
You try to make a comeback?
I mean, I should with the money they give out. You could 16 all of a sudden you're getting like $1.5 million.
No, not a great day for Will Wade. We just watched an ACC Big East matchup, and these are some notable head coaches in these two leagues. On that list, of course, is Wade, who is going to have to bounce back. You heard Dan and Jay talk about it. You just got to kind of flush it and move on. We're back in the game we just saw. If you missed it, Seton Hall, NC State. Seton Hall, Jay goes up double digits. Mike Williams accounts in the foul.
They were just the aggressor offensively, and they dominated every aspect of this game.
AJ Station McCray was just all over the place. This is going to make it 15 here, Seth.
You got to stop the ball in defensive transition. They also had 9 blocked shots in this game, which enabled them to get out in transition and play ahead of NC State's defense.
And here's the man on the finishing end of this finish, finishing the game by talking to Dan and Jeff.
AJ, congratulations on the win. How important was your team's defense leading to offense in this game?
It's very important. That's just how we play. We guard to get an easy offense. We got to get stops in order to get easy shots. So that's what we've been practicing all year.
And you had a great game, the 22 points. We also had 8 rebounds. Your team came out with great energy to start the game, but it seemed more important that you came out with amazing energy to start the second half.
Yeah, that's just been our issue. Just coming out in the second half with more energy. So we were focusing on that all throughout while we've been out here in Hawaii. So
this was obviously on paper the best team that you guys had played yet this season. How much confidence did you bring into the game that you could win this game?
We have confidence we can beat any team. That's just how we feel. We have gritty guys, so we go out there, show some grit. Anything can happen. So
congratulations. You got another one tomorrow.
Yes,
go get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow.
Got you. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
As for the rest of the bracket, we got a game coming up in minutes here between USC and Boise. USC picked 12th in the Big Ten. Looking for big things. That's next.